Let's get something straight, shall we? You are not man-made. You are God-made. That means no mere mortal can come for you. No mere mortal can destroy you because they did not create you. If you want to continue to try to get everyone to like you, that is something not even Jesus could do. Then have fun. But if you're ready to step into your Empress, your Emperor energy, then keep listening. Because the truth of the matter is, I only align with those who are ready to claim their throne. You're not listening to this by accident. Your soul has signed up to hear these words in this moment. The person from our own history who has really embodied this energy is Cleopatra. She was not out there trying to be liked by everyone. She knew she was a legend, and she walked, she talked, she acted like it. She acted from her internal compass. She did not look around her for other mere mortals to tell her how to show up, because she understood her connection to the divine. She didn't try to fit into a niche. She understood she was the niche. You are not meant to fit into a man-made niche. You are multidimensional. There are layers to you, and there are supposed to be. Cleopatra didn't try to fit into a niche. She was beautiful, intellectual, talented, and a goddess. She embodied a frequency. And now it's time for you to do the same. This episode is truly your energetic slap in the face. I'm going to hold your hand and kick your ass at the same time. You've been playing small. You've been tolerating crumbs. Be honest with yourself. And you've been confusing politeness for power. You weren't born to be digestible. In fact, if people can't digest you, let them choke. That's not your problem. You were born to be unforgettable. Let's talk about what happens when you reclaim your throne. Before we get into it, what's up, positive bitches? How are you doing today? If you're hearing this episode, then you are meant to be here. So keep listening. On that Bitches Positive podcast, sometimes we will laugh, other times, baby, we're going to cry, but we will always walk away feeling our most empowered, positive bitch self. That is babe in true connection with herself, himself, or human self. You know, I don't care if you're a cucumber. If you are here, you're meant to be here. On this podcast, we unbecome who we are not, so we can fully step into exactly who we came here to be. I have to give a shout out to one of you positive bitches. I recently got a DM that said, I decided to go celibate while trying to find my person because of your posts. Yes. The power I feel is insane. Self-respect unmatched. And it weeds out the losers. Thank you. This is for real a movement, LOL. Never felt more in my body and my temple. I'm telling you right now, you want to reclaim your throne? Reclaim your body as your temple. Self-love is F-boy repellent. Self-respect is F-boy repellent. Valuing yourself is F-boy repellent. When you respect yourself, you claim your throne. You step into the embodiment of Cleopatra. Be prepared for your king to come on in. Be prepared to receive your match in royal energy. You're going to love this podcast. And if you want to take it up a notch, you can join the Pedestal Path course where you will learn how to up-level your self-worth and therefore attract better relationships, feel better in your own skin, and magnetize your aura. When you walk into the room, all eyes are going to be on you after you take this Pedestal Path course. You're going to fine-tune your frequency and therefore shift your reality. There are over 4 hours of teachings from me, 2 workbooks, meditations, and so much more. You know what the definition of insane is, so don't keep allowing yourself to repeat patterns when you came to claim your pedestal. The Pedestal Path is available now, and the link will be in the show notes. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching, I am a certified life and energy coach, and I'm a Reiki practitioner. I offer one-on-one sessions all over Zoom to help you step onto your most magnetic timeline, shift your self-concept, and once again, magnetize that aura. You can DM me on Instagram at vibinwithcc. The link will be in the show notes. I have a plethora of courses, whether you're going through a breakup or you need help understanding why you keep seeing 111. You can see all of my workbooks as well as my courses. Link is in the show notes. And if you've not yet gotten your copy of Show Up As Her, be sure to get that. Cleopatra did not chase approval. She wasn't concerned with the mere mortals of the planet. She was plugged into her divine purpose. She looked to the divine for answers, not to Brad. Clock that. The only thing different between you and Cleopatra is she understood her inherent connection to the divine, and you're still choosing to believe in the illusion that you're just some humble bumble human. That's the only difference. If you want to embody the same frequency, the same energy as Cleopatra, you have to decide to remember who you really are. You have to decide that what's going to tell you to go right or left isn't the mere mortals. It's not Brad. It's the divine. This episode is for the people who are done begging, done shrinking, done waiting to be chosen. You already incarnated on this planet, which means the divine chose for you to be here during this time. You already incarnated on this planet, which means you chose to be here during this time. You chose to condense yourself into 3D form. Hello. You're already chosen. Brad or Chad choosing you is not that big of a deal when you have already been chosen by the divine. We are breaking down how Cleopatra inspired the most powerful men in history, not with her looks, not with trying to play games, okay? Not with trying to be the black cat. She inspired the most powerful men in history with her mind, her energy, and her unapologetic self-worth. You're going to understand in this episode why you're attracting disrespectful behaviors from other people, and you're going to learn how to shift your energetic broadcast so you can attract better partners, and what it means to walk into a room already crowned. Let's get into it. You were not born for a niche. You were born for a throne. And the way to sit upon your throne isn't for someone to appoint you. It's not for someone to give you permission. It's not for someone else to tell you, you know what, you really are worthy and valuable. In order to claim your pedestal, your throne, you have to decide that it's yours. It's an internal decision. It's an internal decision where you finally are fed up with the low quality experiences you have been having, and you say, I am divine royalty. I am already chosen, and I'm going to choose how I'm going to play this game. I'm going to choose how my reality is going to unfold. You are the main character in your reality because your reality is stemming from your own self-concept. If you think you're a piece of shit, well, then you're going to manifest experiences where you constantly feel quite shitty. It's up to you to say, you know what, I'm unsubscribing from that narrative, and instead I'm going to claim my throne. I am the main character. I am already crowned. I am already worthy of positive experiences. An affirmation I personally love is I am whole, perfect, harmonious, and complete. I am whole, perfect, harmonious, and complete. I am whole, perfect, harmonious, and complete. You don't need to wait for someone outside of yourself to validate you, to throne you, to crown you, to complete you. When you do that, you're going to constantly be waiting on your reality to prove to you that you're worthy. You're living by effect when you need to live by cause. When you live by effect, you wait for things outside of yourself to validate you. When you live by cause, you say, actually, I'm the one who's going to create my reality. I am not going to face reality. I'm going to create it. I'm going to remember the law of correspondence, as above, so below. My internal reality will always be reflected back to me in my external. Your external reality is just a simulation based on your own beliefs, based on your own decisions. Anish asks, where do I fit in? Where do I have to shrink myself? Where do I have to mute myself? A throne asks, where do I want to lead today? Where do I want to go? How do I want to decide? The world is my oyster. I'm so excited. The world is my menu. I'll choose what I want. You're asking yourself the wrong question. So how can you ever get to the right answers? Stop asking, where do I fit in? How can I fit in? And start asking, how can I lead my own reality? How can I be a conscious creator of my own reality? When you shape shift to be liked, you leak your power. When you shape shift, you manipulate yourself. You try to hide parts of your personality in order to be accepted by mere mortals who are so insecure anyway. You leak your power. You're living by effect, not by cause. Women who are constantly being disrespected don't have a man problem. They have a self-worth pattern. You fundamentally don't believe that you are worthy of more. Now, I'm going to hold your hand. I understand that maybe you have had experiences where people told you that you weren't enough. I understand that maybe you had experiences where people made you feel like you were nothing. I understand you may have had experiences where people did not put respect on your name. And you know what? Forget them. Are you going to continuously live for them and wait for that mere mortal to someday wake up and realize who you are? That's not their job. In fact, they are showing you that this is actually an invitation for you to not live by the hands of other people and for you to instead live by your own authority. Step onto your own red carpet. Sit on your own throne. Crown yourself. Sometimes I go into the ocean and I literally rebaptize myself because who even baptized me when I was a baby? I didn't even consent to that. I don't even know that man. Who are you? I rebaptize myself in the name of me because this is my incarnation and this is my life and I'm going to live how I want. Hurting no one. Respect to all, leading with love, but taking no shit. You aren't being disrespected repeatedly because there's something wrong with you, because you're ugly, because you're not good enough. You're being disrespected repeatedly simply because you tolerate it, simply because you allow it. Whatever you allow will be. Whatever you allow, you amplify. Your life is the standard that you set. Your life is whatever you're willing to tolerate. I had dermatitis on my face for 2 years. And I, at some moments, almost accepted that as whatever, I don't know. I went to like 5 different doctors. No one could figure it out. But I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to live like this. I'm not going to live with a rash on my face every day just because these doctors, quite frankly, don't know what they're doing. I'm going to keep going from doctor to doctor to doctor to doctor to doctor to researching to TikTok to Instagram. I'm going to figure this out. And eventually I had an allergy test. I was allergic to almonds and I didn't know that. And then I healed my skin. But if I would have given up, then that would have been the reality that I consented to. That would have been the reality that I accepted. That would have been the reality that I subscribed to. But I said no. Do not consent. Do not allow. Do not tolerate what you don't want to receive. Think about Cleopatra. When someone came into her kingdom and disrespected her, she did not allow that to dictate her emotions. She didn't freak out. She said, interesting. Off with their head. She stayed sitting pretty on her throne. She did not get lost in the sauce of being triggered. She sat, she decided, she stayed poised, and she moved accordingly. When someone does me dirty, I say noted. But they do not have the privilege of dictating my emotions. They do not have the privilege of telling me how I'm going to feel. Would Cleopatra allow a fool to dictate how she's going to show up? Absolutely not. So why are you when you yourself are divine royalty? That tells me that you're going to allow disrespect. That tells me you're not sitting on your own throne. And the beautiful, magical, mystical part of this all is it's not about them. It's just about what are you going to allow. You can shift your reality. You can change your reality when you say, I am no longer available to this person's chaos. I am no longer available to fools dictating how I'm going to feel. But I'm not going to ignore them. I'm going to note this. I'm going to move accordingly and remove them from my orbit. If you're being continuously disrespected, it's because you're tolerating it. Speak up for yourself, remove them. But you do not just settle in chaos that you were never meant to exist within. See people for who they are and remove them accordingly. You don't have a man problem. You don't have a woman problem. You have a self-worth pattern. You need to up the price on your worth. You need to remember who you are. You need to shift your self-concept. That's why I wrote my book, Show Up as Her. You need to remember who you are and then show up as her every single day. And I give you a whole entire formula on how to do that in my book, Show Up as Her. If you do not have it, you're simply missing out. Cleopatra's energy was mindset before makeup. I am such a girl, okay? I love the makeup. I love the hair. I love the nails. I love the outfits. I love the jewelry. But I am nothing without priming my mindset first, because there are times where I would look to perfection, but I was in a bad energy. I was in a bad mood, and I saw how my reality would reject me because I was rejecting myself. I was rejecting the present moment. I was rejecting my own joy and allowing my past, which isn't even real anymore, to continuously dictate my emotion. The realest thing you have is this present moment, because in the present is your power. In the present is where you're coding your reality. In the present is where you can shift your emotions to then shift your external result. Your power is in the present. Your throne is in the present. How are you showing up? Are you showing up as her? Are you showing up as your Cleopatra self, your royal divine self? Or are you allowing mere mortals, the fools of the planet, to dictate how you are showing up? Cleopatra was so amazing. She spoke 9 languages. She was educated in astronomy, in philosophy, and she ruled a nation by 18. She did not perform being feminine. She wielded it like a weapon. Feminine energy is very sensitive, not like a flower, like a bomb, like a bomb. I recently had to tell someone, I am very compassionate, very graceful, very sweet. Until you disrespect me, then all of my compassion rings out like a towel. Because now you've crossed a line. Now you're showing me you're not allowed to be close in my orbit. The people who are able to affect my emotions are people I deeply love, people who are very close to me, my family, my good friends, those who I enter into relationship with. But as soon as you show me you can't be trusted, as soon as you show me you're going to disrespect me, you no longer have the privilege to have any say, to have any effect on my emotional state, okay? And that's when I show up like I'm in HR. That's when it goes from emotional sweetness to now we're talking business. And I stand on business. I stand on business. And that is when you're only going to see the Capricorn part of me, because I will become a killer in the night. I don't know how else to say that. I recently read that people often forget that the goddesses of love are also the goddesses of war. As soon as you disrespect me, okay, now it's duly noted. And I'm going to place you into the category, into the bucket of the fool. And I'm not going to talk to you like a peer. I'm going to talk to you like a fool. And you will not have a say in how I show up. You're not going to have any effect on my emotional standpoint, because Why would I allow a fool to do that? If you can't see my value, you must be a fool, and I will act in accordance to your new bucket. Cleopatra did not try to dumb herself down. She did not try to dim her light. She did not try to act like she didn't know everything she knew. She actually really allowed her knowledge to be a huge part of her. She let all of herself shine. A fire does not explain itself. It just burns. The sun does not ask permission to shine. It just shines. You, divine royal beings, do not try to make themselves smaller, digestible. They do not try to hide parts of themselves because that will then create shadows that will haunt you forever. Cleopatra did not wait to be chosen by Caesar or by Mark Antony because she was pretty, because she needed to be chosen, because she needed to be validated. She was simply unforgettable, undeniable. You cannot wait around for mere mortals to value you, respect you, tell you that you're worthy. That is an internal decision you must make, and then other people are going to see it. But you are living completely backwards. Cleopatra didn't wait for Caesar or Mark Antony to applaud her, to say she's so worthy, she's so talented, she's so smart. She showed up in her frequency, in her power already crowned. She was unforgettable. She was undeniable because she simply was anchored in herself, because she knew she was brilliant and she let that brilliance shine. She knew she was strategic and she let that shine. She knew she was beautiful and she let that shine. She knew she was seductive. She knew her feminine energy power and she let it shine. She knew her connection to divinity and she let it shine. Caesar did not have the same background as she did. She was much more spiritual. She was much more tuned in to Isis. She was much more tuned into astronomy, the stars, than Caesar was. He was not thinking like that at all. But she did not try to say, oh, yeah, you're right, it's dumb. I should think more like you. I should hide that part of myself. Maybe I'm wrong. She said, no, actually, this is everything I've learned. This is actually how it's going to help you. This is how my presence in your life is going to uplift you. She was right along Caesar, being his equal. And a lot of people around Caesar did not like her because of this fact. They didn't like a woman in power. Did she cower? Did she get scared? No. When people were out to kill her, she fought back. When people didn't like her, she stayed tuned into the divine. She never, not once, dethroned herself. And that's what I see from a lot of us. You see how people react to you. And when they don't automatically like you, you dethrone yourself. You take off your crown and you hand it out like you are some humble tumbleweed. And that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Stop it. Stop it. She did not allow herself to just be treated as a trophy because she knew that she herself was a frequency. Your standard casts a spell for your reality. The way you treat yourself casts a spell for the relationships you have with other people. Cleopatra respected herself. She respected every layer of herself. Not just her knowledge, not just her body, not just her beauty, not just her divine feminine energy and her connectedness to the divine. She respected every single inch of herself. And so the most powerful men in history also respected her, also chose her. Let's get this straight though. Did Caesar and Mark Antony choose her first? Or did she choose herself first? She chose herself first. She chose herself first. And then this was mirrored back to her in her reality because men aren't our enemy. They are our mirror. Your self-respect is energetic. It's basically tattooed on your forehead. People feel when you value yourself and they will rise to meet you. People also feel when you don't value yourself and they will take advantage of that and they will disrespect you too. It's human nature that people take the easy way out. People will take advantage of you if you are the doormat. You have to decide to instead become your own dream girl. This is not a threat, but an invitation for you to rise so you can raise not only your standard, but the results that you get in your reality. When you accept bad behavior, your standard is low. You open yourself up for low quality experiences. Why would you hurt yourself like that? When you're getting disrespected, it's because you are disrespecting yourself by hanging around that person, by allowing them to step all over you, and by continuously choosing to spend time with them when you know they are not good for you. You might allow in disrespectful people because you were disrespected by your caregivers. You were disrespected by your peers growing up. So all you know is disrespect. But it doesn't matter what you know. It matters what you decide in this present moment on how you're going to move forward. Everything you've experienced, it no longer matters when you decide to show up as her. It no longer matters when you just decide differently. As soon as you decide differently, you quantum leap onto a different timeline because you are no longer deciding as you once were. It's as simple as a decision. What do you decide? What do you decide? You do not attract what you wish. You do not attract what you would love to experience. You simply attract what you are, what you accept, what you're willing to tolerate. Your reality is being reflected from an internal space of your own beliefs and your own standards. Your relationships with other people will be a mirror for how you have a relationship with yourself. If you're disrespecting yourself because you are sleeping with people sooner than you would like to, they're going to disrespect you too. If you ghost your needs, your wants, your desires, they're going to ghost your needs, your wants, and desires too. If you are harsh on your own self, then they are going to continuously be harsh on you too. You have to shift how you're viewing yourself. You are not this broken down person. You are not what you have experienced. You are simply what you decide to be in this moment right here, right now. What do you decide? What do you want to do? This is your game. How do you want to play it? It's not about where you've been. It's not about what you've tolerated, because it doesn't matter what you tolerated yesterday. What do you want to tolerate today? What do you want to allow today? It doesn't matter who thinks they know you. Who do you want to be today? It's your decision. How do you want to play? There's a very popular affirmation. I don't chase, I choose. But my question is, what are you choosing? Are you choosing the same patterns that you had yesterday? Are you choosing to allow disrespect? Are you choosing to allow low quality experiences? Or are you choosing yourself? Are you choosing your throne? Are you choosing your crown? And I know it's not always easy. I know we create emotional soul ties to people. I know we really love people and it hurts. It's disappointing when they can't show up for us, when they can't choose us, when they can't love us. If they can't choose you, choose yourself. If they can't love you, love yourself. If they cannot show up for you, you have to show up for yourself. I'm not taking it away from you that it's hard. I'm not taking it away from you that it's disappointing. You think I don't know that disappointment? I was in a 7-year relationship. Please. I understand that. If they cannot give you what you need and what you want, that's all the more reason for you to give it to yourself. I don't chase, I choose, but what are you choosing? Are you choosing self-respect? Because when you do that, you're going to feel so much better. The beautiful positive bitch that DM'd me saying, I started practicing abstinence. I stopped allowing just anyone to have my body, my energy. And she's saying, I feel better than ever. I feel more empowered than ever. Of course you do. Because when you decide not to just give your energy to anyone, that is energetic mastery. This is not about shaming yourself or your sexuality or limitation. This is about energetic mastery, learning how to use your focus and your intention and attention to create a life you actually want to live within. It's about learning how to put up boundaries with energies that you don't even consent to having around you. If people are half showing up for you, check in with how you're showing up for yourself. If people are being inconsistent with you, are you being inconsistent with yourself? If people are ghosting you, are you ghosting yourself? I give you many journal prompts in my book, Show Up As Her, if you would like more of these. I recently had a download that the best way to shock yourself into a new behavior is to experience a behavior that you have through another person. I can be quite cutthroat sometimes, and not in a way that I'm just being my authentic self. No, it's just cutthroat. And I experienced being on the other side of that. And after that, I said, okay, universe, I see you. I now understand what it is to experience this, not from my point of view, but being on the other side of it. And I'm going to change that. The best way to learn what we need to shift is by experiencing it in our 3D reality. Your 3D reality is your mirror. It's your teacher. It's showing you your own behaviors mirrored through other people. And it's going to do that in a myriad of ways. So if you really hate an addictive behavior in someone else, ask yourself, where may I be allowing myself to be addictive to maladaptive coping mechanisms that maybe aren't really the best for me? If you don't like that someone's being inconsistent with you, ask yourself, how may I be inconsistent with my own habits or my career or my self-love journey that I really need to tune back into? Your energetic universe is not going to lie to you. So it's either showing you a behavior that you have, trying to invite you to expand, or teach you something. It's up for you to decode the pattern. External disrespect is often internal self-abandonment playing out in the public sphere. Take a breath. Digest that. I know, I'll say it again. External disrespect is often internal self-abandonment playing out in the public sphere. Ooh, and I'm getting ringing in my ear. Confirmation on the right side. Hello. That is your masculine energy side. Masculine energy is all about really creating a structure in your life to make sure that you are creating safety for yourself. Now, maybe you're thinking, CC, but I really like this person. They're good 50% of the time. Okay, well, you can get someone who's good 100% of the time. How about that? You cannot lose. You can only upgrade. You cannot lose. You can only upgrade. But the upgrade starts with how you treat you. What you're willing to allow, what you're willing to accept. The upgrade starts with you removing those who you know are simply not able to meet you where you're at. They're not able to rise to your frequency. The highest standard I hold for anyone in my life is myself, because I know that my relationship to myself will be mirrored back to me. Now, I've had a really long journey with this. So it used to be very critical. Now I've transmuted this relationship more into self-devotion. When I used to work out, I would be mean to myself. You have to go harder because you don't look like this. You have to do more because you don't look like this. And now I've really transitioned into, I love the fact I can show up and do this workout. This is a self-devotional act. This is for me and me only. I have wanted to be fit since I was a little girl. This is an act of devotion for me, a gift to myself. Instead of me having a high standard out of criticism, I have a high standard out of self-devotion. I came all the way down to planet Earth and incarnated here. I'm not going to settle because I deserve the best. I came all the way down to planet Earth and incarnated here. I'm going to give myself everything I've always wanted. And I'm only going to allow the best experiences because that's what I deserve. That is what, as a little girl, I've always wanted. Of course, I'm going to give that to myself. If you don't treat yourself well with love and respect, who's going to? Who's going to? You have to do it first. You have to start shifting your relationship to yourself. You have to see yourself. This new self-concept, update the self-concept, new phone, who dis, okay? Update the self-concept to that of your truest self, which is a divine royal being. Queen and king energy is not about being loud. It's about lasting. Cleopatra didn't have 15 minutes of fame. She wasn't trying to be the loudest person in the room. She didn't go viral. She is simply eternal. It's giving Christ consciousness energy. Her name is still whispered 2,000 plus years later because her presence, her energy made history. And you have the same ability that Cleopatra had. You don't need to beg or to yell or to scream to be felt. You just need to stop apologizing for taking up space. You just have to stop disrespecting yourself by allowing disrespectful beings near you. You just have to stop dimming your light so you can just shine. Stop explaining yourself and let your energy just be felt. You are not too much. You're just finally full of yourself. And that's the point. You're full of all the different energies you embody. You're full of your light and your dark. You're full of all of your traits. You're full of your energy. And that is the most beautiful thing you can do. People, I swear, will try to convince you that you being you is the worst thing that you can do, that you being full of yourself is somehow bad. That's matrix programming. Matrix programming, okay? They want to honeycomb you. They want to fragment your little energy so you're not standing in all of your power. They want to honeycomb you so that you are a fragmented being scared. That's not what you came here to do. You came here to not just yell, but to be everlasting. Because that's your true soul essence, is everlasting. You came here to be felt. You came here to be experienced, and you came here to leave a legacy. And the way you do that is by fine-tuning your attention to that which you want to grow, by placing yourself on your own throne, acting at cause, not at effect, remembering who you are and living in your energy rather than allowing others to dictate how you must show up. We all have a Cleopatra within us. And when you're not sure what to do, just ask yourself, what would Cleopatra do? I want to leave you with an activation affirmation. Repeat after me. I set the tone for how I am treated. I set the tone for how I am treated. I set the tone for how I am treated. My love, it is time to stop complaining and start reigning. It is your moment. It is your time. There's never been a better present than right now for you to claim your crown. As always, the sparkle in me honors the sparkle in you. If this podcast resonated with you, please leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It means the world to me, and it helps this podcast grow. That is an intention of mine. Share this with your friends, your family, anyone you believe needs it. Let's help our sisters and brothers as we raise the vibration of this planet. If you want one-on-one coaching by me, I would love and be honored to be your intuitive guide. Just DM me on Instagram at vibinwithcc. You can find this link in the show notes, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.